Okay, now this is the third tool, also from Access Consciousness, that I use every moment of my life, actually. And I'm going to do my best to do it quickly. That can be the beginning of changing everything in your reality from now on. And like I keep saying, don't take my word for it. Try it. You will know for yourself. It's so simple, but Access taught me that asking a question makes me an invitation for whatever it is that I ask, okay? And the idea that we've heard over many scriptures is ask and you will receive in my world is true. And I would have you look at your life, look at the life that you've created, and actually take a look to see that everything you ever asked for has shown up, is showing up. It just may not have shown up in the way that you thought it would, and it may not have shown up with incredible ease and joy. But when you have asked for something, it has shown up, okay? The good, the bad, all of it. And the thing is, we have a constant mind chatter to which the universe is acknowledging, okay? The universe is your best friend, for lack of a better word. And what it's actually doing is saying yes to every thought, feeling, and emotion you have. And it's just trying to match whatever's going on with you. Now, the problem is we can't be aware of everything, right? We've been going on sort of on autopilot. And when I discovered Access Consciousness, it taught me a couple of tweaks where I could, instead of just being on autopilot, I could go above the unconscious mind chatter and actually invite things into my world, okay? So to make this short, all I'm going to say to you is when you ask a question, you become an invitation for whatever it is you ask, okay? And there are 3 questions that at this moment would be really valuable, and I'll probably throw in a couple of more as I explain this. But the first question for me would be, what's right about this, okay? We are so inundated with everyone telling us how terrible things are that we're not even allowing our minds to look at what might be right about it. And yes, we are starting to see that the planet is healing and good things are happening, but there's much less of that and much more of the greater. And as we hear more bad stuff, we go into more panic and we worry about what's wrong. So what I'm going to say to you is, if you could just stay with what's right about this? What's right about this? What's right about this? What's right about this? What happens is you become an invitation for that, and more beautiful things will start to show up, and you may be able to see what's wonderful about this. In the same way, if you could say, how can I use this to my advantage? How can I have fun with this? What would this create in my life? You become an invitation for those things, okay? So when you ask a question, that starts to show up in your reality. Access gave me 3 favorite questions, okay? The first one was, how does it get better than this? Okay, I have asked that question so many times that I believe I walk around being that question, because everything in my life only gets better. 4 years ago, or 5, I started asking that question. Then I changed it to, how does it get inconceivably better than this? I was like, don't just show me better, universe. Let's make it crazy better, okay? And now I'm sort of going to beyond this reality better. But for all of us right now, if every day we ask, how does it get better than this? We make this grand, glorious invitation to something greater, something better. And the good thing about that question is, when I ask it, I ask and I let whatever has to show up. So you do not want to be locked into, how does my shirt get better? How does my hair get better? How does my room get better? You just want to go, how does it get better than this? And see what shows up, okay? So that's my favorite question on the planet. The second is, what else is possible? This is so incredible, because whether we like it or not, you and I have a fixed set of ideas about what is possible. It could be 5 things, 10 things, whatever. And when you ask what else is possible, you open the door to receiving whatever's beyond your limited mind, okay? And again, things start to show up. So when you ask, how does it get better than this? Or people are telling you, this is happening, you should do this, you should do this. You just want to go, okay, great, but what else is possible? What else is possible? What else is possible? And it's almost like it just opens little windows in the world, and what else is possible starts to show up. But it's really as simple as asking the question, because if you don't ask it, that door is closed. You haven't gone into what else is possible. You've gone into what people have told you is possible, and you've bought into that, and that door stays closed, and that's what exists in your reality. So by asking a question, you're not just opening a door, but you're becoming the invitation for those things to show up. And the third one is the one I already talked about, is what's right about this. And what's good about that is that this loop, okay? How does it get better than this? What else is possible? What's right about this? These three questions can get you out of any situation, any mess, because we'll open the door for you to see something different. And a good example I like to use is, I don't know about you, but I used to very, very often say to myself, oh God, what's wrong with me? And the minute I would say that, I would invite wrongness into my world. So my mother would call me and tell me what's wrong with me. My husband would call me and tell me, my family. And when I realized that if I ask that question, the universe delivers, I stopped asking it. I actually deleted wrong from my vocabulary, and I asked what was right about me. And try this yourself. Ask what's right about me a few hundred times or a few times in the day. And you might find that someone just sends you a random compliment, or someone chooses to say something nice about you. So I'm going to stop here because this video is already long enough, but I'm going to request you to play with questions. And when you ask a question, ask for what you desire. Don't ask for what you don't desire. So what would it take for today to be fun would be an invitation for something to be fun. I said, what would it take for me to have fun with this, right? Because if I say, what would it take for me not to be bored, the universe responds to bored. It doesn't really hear the nots. So you want to be focused on what it is that you desire, okay? Put your energy in what it is you desire, plus invite what it is you desire. Get the negatives out of it. Whatever you don't want, just try not to even entertain those words. Ask for what it is that you desire. Make it a question. Put your energy on it. Think about, fantasize. You've got more time to daydream now than you ever did. Wherever you put your energy, it will grow. And every time you ask a question, the universe will water that thought and find ways for that to show up. And then, of course, you'll see a choice that you can make, and you will create an act from that. But really, it's a magical way. And we've had this tool since we were born, okay? But we never really realized it was a tool. So I request you to play with the questions, see what shows up. And I have to be honest, I mean, how does it get better than this? Is a tool I've handed to a lot of people since I learned. And within 72 hours, I have consistently been received a message from them going, oh, okay, and it could be something small. You could be having a cup of coffee and suddenly someone hands you a donut and you're like, oh, how does it get better than that? And keep asking when things are good, when things are bad. You just want to keep asking, how does it get better than this? Because the universe wants to gift you. It is there just waiting to, and there is no ceiling on how things can get better. One point, how often did we used to say, oh, can't get better than this? When you say that, the universe hears and it says yes, and it stops. So I'm going to request you never to say that, okay? And stick with how does it get better than this, and know that the universe is not a pizza where if it gives me a piece, you're going to get less. It is infinite. And the greater joy you be and the greater joy you receive, the greater inspiration you are for everyone around them. And they can also ask to receive more. It is not limited. It is infinite. And what would it take for all of us to have ease, joy, and glory with all of this? And what would it take for us to create more of this? And what would it take for us to realize that we are actually creating a beautiful, beautiful planet together? And mostly my wish is for this time to be ease, joy, and glory for everyone. So thank you, and let me know how the questions go.